During World War II, the All-American Girls Professional Baseball League was formed to avoid conflict over falling attendance and revenue as Major League Baseball players went off to fight. Allowing the women to play resulted in a compromise by which they proved themselves as athletes. This matters today because it is one step towards women being treated equal. They received the chance to play that they never got before. In the late 1930s, the Great Depression was on its way out, and prosperous times were coming to America. With the Depression on its way out, it was a clear time for America. In 1941, the U.S. enters World War II. During this time, many famous MLB players convinced many to join the war effort. There were over 600 players that left to go off to fight. This caused the teams to lose players and not able to play games due to not having a team. Baseball is a business for the owners, and they had to think of something quick to save their livelihood. Philip Wrigley then came up with the genius idea of a women's baseball league. Wrigley was smart and figured out a way to maintain a steady revenue stream when money was not easy to get for everyone. Many men were being killed while fighting for our country, which left positions open that needed to be filled. Women started to get their opportunities because there was nobody to fill them. Men going off to fight in the war resulted in women starting to get more rights, which led to women taking the men's jobs. Over 600 players played in the AAG-PBL throughout its 11-year existence. There were 10 teams in the Midwest region, such as Rockford, Illinois Peaches, South Bend, Indiana Blue Sox, Racine, Wisconsin Bells, Grand Rapids, Michigan Chicks, and the Fort Wayne, Indiana Daisies. The original four girls were Shirley Jameson, Clara Schillis, Ann Harnett, and Eddie Perlick, along with my grandmother, who played for the Kalamazoo Lassies in 1951. We interviewed my grandmother, and she shared a quote: "The best thing about being in the league was being a part of something with so many women around the country who were so excelled in their skills. They came from all over the U.S. and were very talented. It brought about a great camaraderie and a connection for women to excel in baseball."
What made you first get involved with the All-American Baseball League?
Well, I played for the Orange Lionettes and for about 3-4 years, and then that was before the war. And when the war started, well, then that's when the P.K. Wrigley decided, well, we better, get some girls' baseball league going because the boys were being drafted. And he thought, well, gee, what if this war goes another 10, 15 years? We got to have something to go into those big ballparks.
Over time, the rules changed for women. The bases and distance of the mound were changed drastically. It became closer and closer to men's league. The bases started just over 60 feet and ended at 85 feet. The MLB bases are currently 90 feet, and this is the best of the best baseball players. The women didn't want to play any different. It was very serious to the girls who didn't want to play like a girl. Instead, they wanted to play just like the men. No African American women ever played in the AAG-PBL. This was because the league did not want to take on the challenge of being the country's entertainment source and battle the color barrier. Some women's teams turned to various army camps to entertain the troops throughout their tough days. Famous baseball players at the time, like Joe DiMaggio, inspired many young ball players to consider fighting for their country. This caused major losses to many teams across the MLB. Mostly minor league teams were affected because the minor league players were younger than the older and more experienced players playing in the MLB. Now on the U.S. was huge. The league helped to give women more rights, but it also gave women an important place in sports history today. Women participating in sports changed their appearance before and long after the war. It changed the way women were respected, and at the time was one step closer to equality. Long term, women proved that they were much more than just what they were stereotyped as. With baseball, they proved they deserved rights just like men. When the war ended, many women lost their jobs because men returning from war were taking back all of the jobs. The women were not treated fairly because they lost all of their rights again as soon as the war ended. Long-term impact is that the women were still fighting for complete freedom. To this date, we haven't had a women president. The women were one step closer to equality and still making a lasting impact. During World War II, the All-American Girls Professional Baseball League was formed to avoid conflict over falling attendance and revenue as players went off to fight. Allowing the women to play resulted in a compromise by which they proved themselves as athletes. This matters today because it is one step towards women being treated equal. They received the chance to play that they never got before. This is important today because women would never have got the chance to prove themselves without the league. We should care about this today because it changed women's perception and gave women a place in sports history. It made us, as a country, who we are. The AAG PBL changed America forever and made a lasting impact that will never be forgotten.